shake your dreams from your hair. I'm already there, right beside you. So please, don't hide your safe. I'll be there if it breaks, right beside you. Suddenly I know now how it feels. I no longer have to beg or steal. I can stand now on this higher ground, where love is just a sound. Where love is...
Good morning.
Morning.
We're alive.
We're
I had
alive.
time to go get Starbucks this morning.
Good call.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, your Tim Hortons rubbed off on me, but I was a little bit more bougie.
Yeah, I would say so. That's 3 times as much as my coffee.
Yeah, I had enough points to have a free chai tea latte today. So it
there
did
you
not cost me $7.
There you go. That's great.
Yeah. So how was your morning? Easter Sunday.
It's quite
Happy Easter,
quiet.
everyone.
Yes, happy Easter, everyone. It's really quiet. My kids aren't here. They're not home till 12.
Okay, so you had a quiet morning this morning.
I did. So I'm actually doing the baskets and the Easter thing tomorrow with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're coming home and we're gonna have a lunch and yeah.
Gerald says it. He says it just means it usually costs her $7. I know, and then I get $14 in points if I use the app, or 14 points, I guess, because they double it when you pay with the app.
Oh yes. I used to be like a die-hard Starbucks person with their iced coffees. Not the iced coffee. What I used to get? A cold brew, like the vanilla cold brew.
Cold brew or a frappuccino?
It's definitely a cold brew.
Okay.
And I used to be die-hard until I realized that the iced coffee from Tim Hortons is almost exactly the same as the iced coffee from Starbucks, just at half the price.
Yeah. Their hazelnut cold brew is delicious if they make it right, because sometimes they mess it up and it's terrible. But if they make it right, it's really good.
Where's that? Which one?
At Tim Hortons.
Yes.
The hazelnut cold brew. Because it has that like espresso foam on top.
I'm pretty sure I had one with you like a couple months ago, actually. I remember.
Oh, we got one child awake. He says one kid found her chocolate. That would be Emma. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I took a hiatus from Starbucks because I'm on this little calorie thing where I'm counting and keeping track of stuff. So lately I've been having this mushroom coffee.
Ew.
I know. There's like 6 different mushrooms in it. Well, it's like a cold coffee drink, the one I'm using right now. I have the other one too. It's like a powder that I can mix with hot and make a hot coffee, but the ones, it's a little bit more convenient. I buy them like these little glass bottles. And it's like a mocha, and the other one's a cafe latte, and they're just cold coffee drinks, but they have like the 6 different mushrooms in there. They're supposed to have like health benefit properties, but having a lot more energy, and it's lower in calories, and there's protein in it. So
okay.
So treated myself to a Starbucks because I haven't had one in a little bit.
Right. Now watch you drag ass later on because you didn't get your mushroom coffee.
I'm going to have it later. I'll have like a second coffee. But now I'm like, this thing's like 250 calories. That's a good chunk. Like when you're keeping track of things and you're trying to like, you know, shed the pounds, like Starbucks is like, and that's low on the calorie count for Starbucks.
Right.
Some of their drinks are insane. It's like you might as well just go get a Big Mac meal at McDonald's.
Yeah. Well, they always say, right? Like when you're trying to lose weight, to avoid drinking your calories because it's really easy to consume 3,000 calories in a drink.
Yeah, and a good friend of mine too, she gives me this speech every time when we're talking. She's like, don't drink your sugars. Like, if you're gonna have it, she's like, don't have smoothies, don't like blend stuff that has sugar in it. She's like, don't drink your sugars, I guess. So any like high sugar drink, well, I mean, I don't drink pop, so that's not an issue for me, but things like smoothies, apparently you intake the sugar differently. So I get
Oh, do you?
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. He says water, water, water. I actually really enjoy. I know some people have a hard time drinking water, and you will get those little like Mio things to put to flavor the water, or won't need to drink sparkling water. Like, I'm good, just regular water from the tap, please.
Yeah. Yeah, mine needs to be cold. I need cold water. Otherwise, I can't drink it.
Okay. So are you like ice in your water?
No, that's too cold. Just cold from the tap. As cold as the tap gets.
Yeah. Oh, what's Chris may or may not. Oh, okay. They have been working in the rain. Well, thanks for being here, Teresa. Hopefully Chris can watch later on, catch us after. We got Teresa in the chat. We got G in the chat. Alexis in the chat. Good morning. Happy Easter. Let's see who else. I don't think it's going to be a crazy busy morning. I mean, we did a show on Easter Sunday. People are either busy with their kids or they're sleeping in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teresa says she likes room temp water.
Maybe it could just be my tap water that tastes funny after it sits out for a little while. But if it's room temperature, like my water, it's gross.
Well, we're on a well here, right? And we don't have a softener or anything. So it's like legit just straight well water. We test it all the time and it's delicious water.
Oh,
And then
okay.
when I go to like town and I'll have like a tap water at work or something, I'm like, it tastes funny. Like, I'm used to my home country water.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
country life, having it straight from the well.
yeah.
So anything interesting happened to you this weekend? Or this week, I guess?
Well, I was purging my bedroom and I found a bag of TY babies. Like TY teddies.
The little beanie babies.
Yeah, the beanie
No
babies.
way.
I did. So I'm like, ooh, I wonder like what these are worth, right? So I like get them all out and I grab them and I'm like looking up their names online and stuff. I have roughly $12,000 worth of teeny babies.
That's
They're
insane.
like mint condition. They have the little covers on the tag and stuff. Like, just
Like, did you plan this when you put them away in a bag? Like, these will be worth. You were on that bandwagon where you're like, these will be worth something someday, or
so
did you just forget
funny
about them?
story though. Like, so my kids before COVID and stuff, we had this dentist, okay, and the receptionist would always bring in her TY babies to sell. Okay. So we would like raid the TY babies just for the sake of doing that because they were only like $5 a pair. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't think she realizes how much these could be worth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I never did end up looking up the prices or what they were worth until the other day. And I've had them in my closet for like 4 or 5 years now. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, I got them for $5.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say you have a bag of TY bag, like, is this like a garbage bag's worth of beanie
No,
babies?
I have like 25 beanie babies.
Okay, so it's not excessive. It's not like you
Like a
had like
Walmart bag.
okay.
Like a Walmart bag of TY babies, but 5 of them are worth like they're worth $1,000 and up.
Okay,
And then the
wow.
rest of them, like a few of them are like 500, 600, and then the rest are 30, 40.
Okay, so what would be the most expensive beanie baby that you have?
Wallace.
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 Hey, describe Wallace. Is Wallace like a
Wallace?
walrus or something?
No, he's just a green bear. He's just a green
okay.
bear, and he's got the mistakes on the tag and stuff, and he's worth $7,000
Wow. $7,000
for a teddy bear.
for a little green bear.
For a little green bear. I'll see if I can find a picture because I have them. I have them put away.
Does he have like so he has a little mistake in his tag, or is the flaw thing, right? Why they're
Yeah,
worth so much?
it's like a spelling mistake. Apparently, back in the day, they were really like dumb with their spelling because every TY I look at has spelling mistakes. So this is Wallace. Hold on. Where are you, Wallace?
She says you're definitely a bandwagon person.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Elaborate. I don't know if that's an insult or a
I just
compliment.
see him because of my light. But
Oh yeah, a little green. It's just a green teddy. He has a little
yeah, he's just a green TY bear.
A little scarf.
Just a green tea, like he's like a Christmas bear. So yeah, that was highlight of my weekend, and I found an old cup that my great grandmother gave to me when I was born. So this cup is now minimum 111 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does it have any like marking on it? Like do you know who made the cup or no way?
It's just in a box with a letter that she wrote to me when I was a baby. So she got it when she was born in 1912. And she gave it to me, but I don't know. There's no history on it before that is like known to me. So I assume it's older than 11 years old.
But there's a pawn shop. There's like this show where you can go and like bring it and they'll like appraise it for you and they'll bring like a specialist. Like, how would you appraise glass if it's not like,
I don't know,
no marking on it or no year or anything like that.
Right. I have no idea. It's so cool. It's like this little shot glass. It looks like a shot glass, but it also looks like an A&W root beer mug that's been like shrunk down to be like this big. Okay. And there's so much detail in it. And the glass is so clear. And it even has a handle. It even has like a miniature handle.
Like a little mug.
Yeah. But it's like this big.
It's like a traveling shot mug that you'd bring around.
So neat.
For your flask. G says, okay, yeah, it's worth that to the person who's willing to pay for it, like our lovely animals. Well, I have to say, when Aiden was about a year old, Carlton Cards in their store, they had these Care Bear cousin babies. Like they're like Care Bear cousin, like teddy bears. So they had like different animal ones, and they had the horse one. And like I was big into horseback riding. I wanted to get these cute teddies and get one for Aiden. So I bought one. Then looked it up to see how much it was worth out of curiosity because I wanted to get another and I was curious and I couldn't find any at any store. $350 is what they were selling this $10 teddy bear on eBay. Crazy, because apparently the horse Care Bear cousin is very rare.
Yeah. It's nuts. I had the Millennium Bear with all of the mistakes, the tag and the butt tag.
Yeah.
But the bear is missing. I found the tag in the bottom of the bag, but the bear is missing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of my children ran off with a really expensive bear.
Oh no. When I found out how much that teddy bear was, I was like, oh, I'm going to like sell this on eBay. And no, Aiden was all over that teddy bear. It was already covered in baby drool and there's no one that's going to buy that at that point, That's a used bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this week, well, I built it yesterday, so I did a whole bioactive enclosure for Gino, the little chameleon gecko.
Right.
So went on a plant buying spree yesterday, which I find very funny that G is also now becoming quite the plant addict. And it was kind of nice going into the garden center with him, right? Because you go in there and at first, like years ago, before we even got into reptiles, like I was really big into plants. We had so many plants everywhere upstairs and like in our living room and in the dining room. And you get so frustrated with me every time I'd bring a new one and the kids would just roll their eyes. They're like, oh, mom brought home another plant. Then it kind of dwindled down, became a very terrible plant mom when I kind of lost focus and like moved over to the reptiles. And now he like lights up and he goes to the stores and he gets plants and he's all excited. This would look really good in my room. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, you used to be like grumbly when we go to stores and like, oh, she's looking at another plant. And now you're all excited. You're like, tell me about this one. And what about this one? And should I get this one? So it's like all excited, like a kid at a candy store. We were at Gemmel's yesterday at the garden center.
That's so great. I wonder if it's because G has run out of things to collect. So now he's just collecting plants.
Well, like we have you can see right there in the window behind me. Oh, wrong side. Right here. That's his room on the other side of the glass, right? And there's the plant.
Yeah.
There's a plant right there in the window. Yeah, he says because I forgot to take care of them. I kind of let the problem with our place in the summer times, it gets so hot. We don't really, aside from like the little side air conditioning unit, it's like a greenhouse up there. We get so much sun, so the plants dry out really quick. So unless you're like really on top of it, it's really easy for them to like dry out.
Right.
But they do much better in this room because it's so high humidity, right?
Right. What do you have coming on Wednesday, G?
Oh,
What is it?
he bought more snakes.
Damn, like where are you gonna put them all?
This one he already bought. This is the Wookiee. I'm just trying to think what came.
Okay.
The other ones he bought auction snakes. They came last week. So we got
Okay.
the 2 snakes that came from Corey Woods last week. And this week, this is the one that was on winter hold. So this is our let me think of the genetics here. It's an Enchi, yellow belly. I don't know if it has pastel in it. Wookiee het clown.
Okay. Okay.
So this is the one where like the goal is to make Wookiee clown freeways.
Right. Okay. I have fancy bugs coming this week.
Ooh.
I do.
What'd you get?
I got amber bees.
Oh, okay.
Amber bees coming, and I have I can't pronounce the name of them, but they're like this big, and they're like orange, and they look really cool. I can't remember the name of them, and I can't pronounce it, so I'm not gonna even try.
I need to upgrade my isopod bins that I have in here because to larger ones because I went to feed them this week and the springtail culture is insane in those bins. Like they just since it started getting warm, like I started warming up the room right for egg
Right.
laying and stuff, and it's out of control in there. And then there's at least half of the isopod bins that the isopods have just bred and it's exploded.
Right. I don't have that problem with my isopods, or not my isopods, my springtails. So I find my springtails are just dying, like in the bins.
But you mean like in with your like with your isopods or?
Yeah, like
Really?
they're not as overbearing as I expected them to be, considering they've been in their tubs for a while.
Have you put a couple? I put a couple pieces of the charcoal in my bins.
I did.
You
I
did,
did.
eh?
Yeah. I
Okay.
just expected them to be more like, so my duckies, for example, the springtails were insane. Okay, like they were just like
Yeah.
taking over the whole tub, and then the duckies started having babies, and now I
Yeah.
have more duckies than I do springtails. It looks like, because I'm not really seeing a ton of springtails. Like I'm seeing them, but I'm
Yeah.
not seeing them. So it's really weird.
No, there was one specific bin I had opened, and the springtails were just like jumping out of the bin. There was just it was crazy.
Oh my
I
goodness.
know. Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about duckies. I'm a little sad. I lost my duckies.
I'm sad for you.
I'm gonna have to try it again. Try my hand at duckies.
Yeah, I'll hook you up. I just have to, I can give you some. I have to go through my tub first, though, because I sold some.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure I have enough. I sold, how many did I sell? I think it, like 30, I think it was 32 or 33 duckies that I have
Okay.
to chase down. So I have to chase them down, and then I have to make sure that it doesn't like take my whole culture of duckies.
You know me, I'm in no rush.
But yeah, I
I'll
can
get them when I get them. I'm not gonna sit there and stare at them like all
as
excited.
long as you
every
promise me that you're not going to kill them this time.
Yeah, I know. It was a terrible mistake.
It's, you know what?
It happens.
I thought that little container you had them in was
Yeah.
going to hold the humidity, right? Like, because it's just got like the little tiny holes, right?
You know what? And the whole size, like everything was still like there was still water droplets on the inside of it. It was the deeper layers of the soil.
They were dry.
Yeah.
Mm.
But it was like deceiving because I would almost have to use my little plant gauge to see because the edge of the whole thing was still super moist.
Right.
Yeah, he's
Right.
making fun of me saying, like, watering her plants. Listen, they looked like they were fine, and the week before I checked on them, they were running around in there having a great old time, okay, Gerald? So, it was like a overnight situation that happened with them, okay?
Right. Well,
It
I'll,
happens.
we'll talk after I get all of these guys.
Yeah. Well, the
Like,
other ones are flourishing, they're insane. Uh, and we have our imports coming.
oh, yes, we do.
I'm so excited.
Yes, we do. I'm so excited. We don't pick them up until the 14th, though, so.
Yeah, but we still get them, like, sooner than I had expected anyways, but we'll be picking them up when we go there because 'cause we're going to the expo,
Right.
and it's funny because our guest today is pre-recorded, and when I was rewatching the video, we're talking about the imports in there, and we're
Yeah.
talking it as if it hasn't been finalized yet, and I'm saying, "Oh, I don't know, I might be getting the 2," and now I
Oh,
know.
I
Like, now I'm
guess, eh?
confirming, like, now I've got the 2, and they're coming, so because we recorded that, I think, a week ago, right? So everything now is all finalized. So very
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm really excited too. I'm scared. I'm not going to lie. Like, because they're coming from Europe, right? So,
Yeah, they're
like,
coming from Czech Republic.
anything can happen between Europe and Canada. So I'm kind of like
Yeah,
stressing a little bit because to me it's a little bit more different than importing from the States, right? Because the States is like our
yeah,
neighbor, okay, and Europe is all the way across the world.
yeah. And then they're staying with the importer for a little bit before we get our hands on them. So
Yeah. So I wonder, why do they have to stay with the importer?
well, we could have probably shipped them, but I think it was just because so they actually have a booth at the expo. So I
Okay.
think it's April that's maybe sorting that out because
Okay.
from my understanding, they're coming like import date was the 7th of April.
Yeah.
But the expo's not till the 14th.
Right. Okay.
I'm
So
good I'm good with it.
I wasn't sure if they were going to ship them to her or if she was going to pick them up
No,
at the
we're
expo.
picking them up. I asked her, I said, "Can we go grab are we getting them from you?" She's like, "You know, you can go to the booth and pick them up yourself."
Oh, I didn't
And
know
so
that. I thought we were gonna
yeah,
get
so she's
them
gonna
first.
have our names on ours, so when we get there, we don't have to wait, like, we're getting there, like, 10 AM, so we can get there and we can go and pick them up.
Nice. I have 5 isopod tubs I have to truck around with me at the
Oh, yeah.
expo.
Well, we'll be there. I have, like, 8 geckos to pick up that day, so, like
So it'll be fine. We'll just like I don't think I can take the isopods in the expo with me, so I hope they're gonna be okay in the truck. I don't
Oh,
think
they'll
they'll
be
cook.
fine. They'll be fine.
Uh, yeah, it'll be a great time.
We'll see how the weather is and if we have to do a little insulated box or something, or we'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll figure it out. Do you wanna hop into our tea time?
Yeah, I do. Let's talk
Okay.
about this.
What's the tea?
The tea. Well, I've been seeing on Facebook and Instagram a film that is being left on different Pangea food.
Yeah, this has been a huge discussion, the last couple weeks, I've noticed a lot of posts.
Yeah,
And people are all stressed out, and there were some people that were saying attributing it to deaths and geckos. I mean, at that point, like, it's a lot of pointing fingers, and it's not fair to blame Pangea either, saying, like, "This is the reason I lost my gecko." Like, at the end of the day, you'd have to kinda do an autopsy to see what's going on, what the cause of death was. But there has been a lot of talk about it, and I've noticed it too. Not on all of them. So, like, the breeder formula is the one that a lot of people are talking about, and that one seems to be fine with me.
yeah,
Like, but this one? The with insects, and then the papaya one, that one's been having this weird white film, like, within 24 hours on it, which has been very strange compared to when, like, having used this for a while, like, long enough now to be able to have a comparison.
right. Yeah, my fig and insect and my watermelon. So my watermelon one leaves like a pink film. And it's not like, it's actually so gross. It's not like a film, it's like a pink fluid. It's not even a
Yeah.
film, it's like a
Yeah, it's been
fluid.
doing fluids too, eh? It's like
Yeah.
separating.
Yeah, like separate. It's so gross. It's so gross. And my fig and insect gives me like a pinkish, creamish color film on the top of it. But it doesn't happen like immediately. It's like after, so I put the food in one day and then I'll leave it like that whole night. And
Yeah.
then I'll check them to see who's eaten and who hasn't or whatever. And I don't notice a film that next morning. So when I
Okay.
leave it in all day and I go to pull it out that night, that's when I notice the film starting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't happen for me like within the 12 or 24 hours that people are saying.
Yeah, well, for me, one of them has been kind of getting that like the next morning when I come in, there's like almost like a white film right on top. And it's usually so I'm like Northland is saying um her geckos used to inhale Pangea and now mine are not eating as well. Like mine are eating it. They're picky, they're a bit picky, and like I'll be honest, I'm starting to mix it now with Rapashi because I'm getting a better consistency. Like that film is not as much of an issue because I don't want to waste the bags either, right? And they're eating it and it seems to be fine, and we don't know if there's a full issue with it. But I've had, the Zoom Ed one that you get at like Pet Value.
Yeah.
That one will go like they'll have a film and get kind of gross by the next morning. Like you can't leave that one in there. And that's what it's reminding me of. It's kind of getting that weird,
Like
and
the
I get the
quality
weird.
is going down a little bit.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm noticing is when I'm putting the containers in, so I use that little washer machine thing, right, to clean all my
Yeah.
containers. I'm getting these like snotty things in it when I'm cleaning that's not breaking apart,
Ew.
which I'm finding really weird. So it'd be interesting to see like how other people in the comments, if you want to put in comments how your experiences are with Pangea. Like I don't know, man. I don't know if there's something different with them. I buy from the same place.
Is it
They're
not regulated? You'd think it would be regulated.
I don't know. I don't know. I would imagine so. I don't know if it's just an ingredient that may have been off or different or what's causing the issue, but I can speak from experience that I've noticed an issue. My geckos are all happy and healthy. They're still eating it. I am mixing it because I just up until now, like I'm not going to be on the bandwagon that says I refuse to now buy Pangea. I mean, they're tried, tested, and true for years, right?
Right.
People feed huge collections Pangea all the time.
Right.
And I used it for the longest time as well. I've just noticed that something's it's like spoiling quicker.
Right. Right. And it makes you wonder what changed, what the shift was.
Yeah. Well, maybe there'll be more answers. I know there's been a lot of chat and I know they've been actively responding as well. With they're saying, if you're having a bad batch with the bag, send the bag back. It's a bit difficult for us. We can't really send it directly to them because we're in Canada. So I
Yeah.
don't really know how it works. I mean, I tried to buy feed from a company in the States to try out here that's different, and it got confiscated at the border and destroyed.
I didn't know it got confiscated.
Well, the food that I got, right, from
Yeah, I
that
know
from that
you need to
company,
like,
they
yeah.
held it at the border because I guess there is a change in requirements for it. That because it contained egg protein,
Okay.
and because of the bird virus thing that's going around, there's more strict rules around things that contain eggs. So they held it, and now it needs like a veterinary certificate, like all this whole process to be able to clear it through. So they ended up just destroying it at the border. I ended up getting a refund for it, but
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, that
So
sucks.
Lord knows I'm not sending gecko food back to the States, okay?
Right.
What Teresa says, I haven't had any issues. They are never more than 18 hours. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Usually there's not like a huge issue when we leave it. I've just noticed it this last maybe month and a half that it's been starting to act a little funky. And it'll
Right.
separate too, like you're saying, Usually it holds, and then they'll eat it, and whatever's left is like a little chunk left of it, right? But I'm finding now that it separates, and you get this weird like liquidy stuff in it that kind of separates from the food.
Okay, so here.
Oh, there. Northland dropped the name. Yes, it's Lugardi. So yes, we were just told that Lugardi just told us that they aren't able to get their food in Canada right now because of that issue.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I was excited to try it too, to see like how, like, because I know it's been having mixed reviews, and I was kind of excited to try something different. But yeah, not coming into Canada anytime soon.
So this is at 18 hours with this gecko food. Okay, there's no film, like at all on it.
And which one's that one?
That is my fig and insect mixed with the breeder formula.
Okay.
And there's no film.
Okay.
There's not even like this
almost like a hit or miss, eh?
Yeah, so this is actually, that's a new bag. I just got that bag in last week.
Do you have the old bag?
No.
Because they have these little lot numbers, right?
Yeah, no, I don't.
It'd be interesting to see if they have, like, if it's a different lot number.
No,
I don't have any fig and insect here, so I can't base comparison off that one.
But my fig and insect seems fine. My watermelon wasn't okay. My watermelon did separate, and I don't know if it maybe like it's just because the geckos didn't like it and they didn't eat it because nobody touched it.
Like, there's so many people who say that watermelon is the watermelon one's great. Like, so many of their geckos are eating the watermelon. I have such terrible response on watermelon. Like, none of my geckos want to eat the watermelon.
No, none of mine touched it. I think I had actually this girl up here, like you can't see. Anyway, she cleared her dish, but that was it. So one out of 17 geckos, 18 geckos ate it. Nobody else wanted to touch it.
Well, I guess we'll see. I'm sure we'll hear more. There'll be new news coming out of that. We'll find out if it's an actual issue or if it's ongoing. I mean, so far, like, my bags are almost empty at this point.
Right.
And I feed both Pangea and Rapashi, so I might just stick to Rapashi right now because it's being more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But usually I try to mix them up, right?
Yeah. I actually have never tried that brand.
Oh, no?
No.
Yeah, so I have 3 different types of Pangea, and I think I have 4 different types of Rapashi. So, like, I'm mixing flavors all the time.
Okay.
Giving them a variety.
Right.
And gets them used to different things too. So when you're selling a gecko and it's going to a different home, right? Like, you don't know what flavor they're going to be selling or they're going to be feeding their gecko. Northland says, what flavor Rapashi do you find your geckos have a good response with? The mango one is really good. They really like the mango one. They have a seasonal one with pineapple, which was kind of hit or miss. And the grubs and fruit, this way, works well. But yeah, no, the mango for sure. And then they have another one. It's like a elderberry or something berry. That one, mulberry, I think is what it is. I can't remember. It's like, it turns purple when you mix it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that one works well too. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. Should we pop into our espresso?
Let's
do you have any more tea? No more tea?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it for this week.
Hold on. Hey everyone, and we're back with our coffee.
I love that that intro video. It's such a beautiful intro video.
A
It
little
is. It's so
jazzy
relaxing.
sound. Every time I hear it, makes me want to kind of do a little dance.
I admittedly I do a jig every time.
You just have to. It's like, it kind of gets you moving. So today we have Emily from EW Exotics, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Hi,
And you're out in Nova Scotia?
I am. I'm in Nova Scotia. I'm close to Annapolis Valley, just down a little further, but basically Annapolis Valley, Nova Scotia.
An Eastender.
Yeah.
How do you find the gecko world out there, or reptile world as a whole out in the Maritimes?
It's really small. Like New Brunswick has more. Like I don't know, Rochelle Reptiles. She's in New Brunswick,
Okay.
and there's a couple others that I see starting out up in New Brunswick, which is like just across the water that way from me.
Oh wow.
So there's them over there, but in Nova Scotia where I am, there's not much. Like we have Gecko Meister in the city. He produces some geckos, like some really rare species, but
Okay.
other than that, not a whole lot.
Oh wow. Do you guys get like shows out there too? Like has there been any expos out in the East End, or?
We only have 2 in Nova Scotia, and they're not really even just specific for reptiles because it is so small. We have Annapolis Valley Expo, which is about an hour from me, and it's just all pets. I went to it last year, and there was only 2 reptile booths. and then there was one they had to cancel it last year, but they have one in the city, usually Halifax. Usually they have it in. And that's again, the first year they did it just as reptiles, but then it wasn't a big enough turnout, I don't think. So they opened it up to all pets. So there's that one too. And even that one, there's only a couple of reptile booths. So I'm not. Hopefully in the future, I can vend, but not yet.
Bring in some diversity to the expo. Do they have like aquatics at the expos? Because I know here in Ottawa and in Toronto they started bringing like aquatics and like aquarium stuff and fish, and I would wonder like if it's something a little bit bigger in the Maritimes, given that your guys are right by the water, if it was more of a popular thing there. No.
No, even like the only places you can get saltwater fish are actually in the city, like Halifax, Dartmouth area, which is like 2.5 hours from me.
Okay, wow.
And there's only a few small shops that have that. And other than that, there's like PetSmart and New Minas, and there's a couple of other spots that have freshwater fish, but nothing too big. I don't even know if there was a fish booth at the expo. We're pretty small over here.
Yeah. Small, but I'm sure it's going to grow. Sorry, go ahead.
How did you get into Cresties? How did you get into Cresties? If it's so small over there, how'd you get into them?
Oh, my reptile journey has been very, very long. So
okay.
I got my first leopard gecko in 2015, and I just got that at a pet store. I actually my first pet that was actually mine was a rabbit. I had a bunny. And then I found this YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys know it, 101 Rabbits. She was like really big back then, and she got hermit crabs at one point, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, that is so cool. So I think I got a couple of hermit crabs, and then when I got down that rabbit hole, like inverts, and then I seen reptiles, and I seen leopard geckos, and I was like, that is so cute. And I got one for I think it was right before Christmas. Right when I think I would have been like 2015, 2016.
Okay.
And then I got that one, and then a year or so later, I got my first crested gecko. And at that point, it was I just kept them as pets. And then when I moved out, when I was 17, 18, I think it was, and I got a ball python, and I got some other pets, and I just did it as a hobby for the longest time. Like it's been about 9 years now, or 10 years, I think almost, of just keeping them as pets until I didn't even think about breeding until, when was it? Early 2022.
It's funny that you said that the rabbit got you down the rabbit hole. That's cute. So like what was the first like morph that you got, like the first Crestie that you got? Do you still have that Crestie, or?
No, I don't actually.
Yeah.
I ended up finding a home for it because when I got all these other ones, I was like, I need to make some room. I feel bad, but I found a really good home for him. He was just an
Oh, kitty, kitty.
I'm sorry if cats come in the background.
That's okay.
So that first crested gecko I had, his name was Phoenix, and he was just a normal, just a little frog butt. But the first time I seen like the crazy morphs and stuff, it was actually the first person I ever bought from, Exquisite Geckos.
Okay,
Okay.
she's local from here. Yeah, she's in
in
Ottawa.
Ontario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the first one that I seen when I was starting to think about getting into into actual morphs and stuff. The first gecko I got to start, like when I first started thinking about breeding, it was actually a little gargoyle gecko. I still have her. Her name's Citrus, and I got her from Gecko Meister, and that was early. That was like March 2022. And then I found Exquisite Geckos on, I think someone shared her post on like one of the maritime reptile groups.
Okay.
And I went on her website and I was like, oh my gosh, these are amazing.
Yeah, she's got some nice stuff. We April and I picked up a few things.
Yeah.
recently.
So when I was new,
Oh, you're frozen.
Nope. Oh, she's back. Is it April or me that's frozen? Oh,
April was frozen.
it was me. Am I back? And now you're frozen. That's funny. Are we back?
I
I think we're
so.
good. Yeah, I think we're good.
Are we good?
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay, perfect. So when I was new, that was I went on her website too, and like the stuff that she had posted was mind blowing. And she was one of the second. So I had seen Crystal's collection, and then she was the next one because Crystal was like, "Oh, you should check her out because she's local to Ottawa." Blah blah blah. And I did, and I was like, "Oh my gosh! Like there's so much."
I know. That's like I've had the idea of getting into breeding, but when I finally found her page, she was the first person I ever ordered from. And when I got those geckos, I was just mind blown. Like when I seen all the different kinds, and she has the Dalmatians, and I'd never seen anything like that before, especially over here in Nova Scotia. We only have like the very basic like flames, like very low pattern, and
Yeah.
her colors, like the reds and the dowels and stuff, I was hooked.
And how
Yeah, it's like a
awesome is
whole
that
new world
feeling,
to
eh?
you.
When you get like the first like gecko shipped to your house and you get to like unbox it. It's such a fun feel. It's very addictive.
I was so scared. I was so
Oh, yeah.
scared. I was like, I didn't even really know about shipping reptiles that much before because all my other pets that I had, I just bought local as pets.
Yeah.
I didn't even really know about shipping. But then I ordered from her, and yeah, the rest is history.
So how many geckos are you at now? Do you have a approximate number of where you're at?
In the 50s right now, I
Okay.
think.
That's
I have winter holds too that are coming this spring. So
you and I both.
oh my gosh.
We're actually going to pick up quite a few of them. We're both going to the expo in Toronto in April. So we have quite a few and have recently added more. So I'm very
I'm so excited for the recent ones. Like
Yes.
I am jumping out of my skin.
I'm very excited. I haven't said anything. I haven't shared anything, which I'm glad because the first one kind of fell through and was already sold. So now
Yeah.
the other one's on my list. One of them's available. I'm not sure about the other one, so we'll see. But I'm super excited. It'll be fun to to share those pictures and some new stuff.
Yeah.
It's always fun keeping it a surprise too. Like I most of mine are surprises still. I don't think I've shared too many on my Instagram because it's always so fun when they come and to share them.
And then you get all excited because then you can show a little video in person and like,
Yeah.
look what I love, the anticipation.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's awesome. So you have some clutches. Like, how many clutches are you doing for this year? Like, I guess not clutches, pairings. I'm thinking ball pythons. No, but I know, April. Like, it's not a clutch. I guess they have more than one clutch. But how many pairings are you looking
Only
for?
geckos. Only geckos laid like ball pythons lay.
Yeah, I know, right?
Every month.
I've paired nine so
Okay.
far, and
Okay.
I've got eggs from 5. They just started laying, so I've only got one set of clutches from 5 pairs right now, and they're all first time pairings. So I'm not expecting a crazy amount, but I'm still very excited.
Yeah, but you never know. Like I had my one girl was her first time paired last year, and she had 10 clutches last year, and it was her first year producing eggs, and all of them were viable. It was wild.
Oh, holy!
She was the my
That's
Phantom
almost a
edgy
year of
back, the
laying.
lily white. What's that?
I said that's almost a year of laying.
Yeah, I know,
Oh
it's
yeah,
wild,
really.
eh? Had
That's
to give her a
insane.
good rest before even getting back into it because and the thing is, she didn't even lose any weight. Like she kept gaining weight. She's such a little chunky monkey, that one.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, we'll pop up some of we got some pictures. We got your top 5. So we're going to pop them up and you get to share your top 5 and tell us about them. So let's bring up. So who's this one?
This here is like, I always say he's my pride and joy. This is Oakley. He was the first in the first order I got from Exquisite Geckos, actually.
Okay.
And he was produced out of Sindel and Venom. He's non lily white, but he's from a lily white pairing.
Okay.
And there's just something about non lily white babies from lily white pairings that just have my heart.
Yeah. No, he's got a lot of tricolor, right? Yeah.
If the pictures I find wash them out quite a bit. He's got like this mixture of yellowy orange, like it's a yellowy color, but there's white in there too. But it's just kind of sucks that the lighting is like that because you can't see it completely where like the colors change. But he's definitely a dark color.
I find taking pictures of geckos extremely frustrating.
I know.
I was about to say that. It's tough, eh? To get a good picture and then you can set it up like the light box and have your camera and everything set up. But I find like you still have to like somewhat edit it to bring it back to like a true color because it still will make it kind of off depending on where you like what camera you're using, and your phone and the camera does a different output as well. And the best ones I find are the outdoor pictures. But it's been too cool to take any outdoor pictures. So you're up by the window trying to get the light.
Last summer, I got so many good pictures of my geckos, but now they've all grown so much bigger than that. So now I'm back to the light box. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for summer.
So you have plans for him this year? Is he paired with one specific?
He's one of the ones. He's like the only one I've actually have in this list that is paired right now.
Okay.
He's paired to my female Freya, and like, oh my gosh, it's one of my most anticipated pairs. Everyone that's seen the pair is like, I'm so excited to see what they make.
And Freya, what does she look like? Is she like a tricolor as well, or
yeah? She doesn't have any lineage. I bought her from House of Geckos, just no lineage. But
okay.
She's very similar to him. I called him like my funky pair
okay.
because she has like the base color, like an orangey tan color coming up, but then she has the some white on the sides. Pictures don't do her very justice. But they both have massive crests, and they both have that tricolor. They both have some spots, which some spot haters don't like, but I don't mind spots.
I know there's a lot of people out there. They're not a fan of spots. I'm kind of getting over it. One of the new ones actually I'm looking to bring in. I wasn't going to, and then I was like, because they had a couple spots. I'm like, no, it's perfect for the project. I'm ignoring the spots and I'm bringing it in. So a couple spots won't hurt it.
I called them my funky project, but I think they're gonna make absolute amazing babies. And actually today when I was taking out their feed cups, I checked their lay bin, or Freya's lay bin, and I found a clutch of eggs. So fingers crossed.
Exciting. Yay!
Fingers crossed they make it.
Well, that's awesome. And who we got here? Ooh, it's pretty.
That's Kiwi. He's another one from Exquisite Geckos. He's a Hailstorm and McDreamy baby.
I was just about to say, is he McDreamy? Because he kind of look like him.
I've had Ashley message me and be like, he's McDreamy Jr. and Mini McDreamy.
He's so pretty.
Yeah, he is really nice.
If I had to pick my absolute favorite, he'd probably be it.
Yes, green spots too, eh?
Yeah. He has
Yeah.
quite a few green spots in there, and he even has some little. You can see there's a couple little white portholes, almost little
Yeah.
white specks in there too. I think they
Oh,
were a bit bigger
cool.
when he was. They were a bit bigger when he was a baby, but as he's grown, they've shrunk. But they're definitely there.
I love portholes on dowels. So I got 2 dowels from her recently, specifically from her pairing out of Phoenix, because Phoenix has portholes. And I wanted portholes because I have a male here who has them, and I want the big portholes. So we'll see what happens with it. Like, they're still very young, they're still hatchlings, but there's
Oh,
just something like was it Game as Geckos in the States? They
oh,
have the dowels with like the huge portholes that just expand along the side of the gecko. It's really cool.
don't they have like pink ones with portholes, like the pink base with the portholes too?
Yeah, no,
That's
for sure.
that's incredible.
Yeah, they're really cool. Do you have a pairing already for him, like anticipated, or are you looking for a female for him?
I do. I'm debating my female Perdita because she's my only female with like big spots like him. But
Okay.
I even have a girl Ivy who is a Phoenix kid, and
Okay.
so it's between them. And I think I think he wouldn't be ready until like the end of the year, like towards the end of the season. So I may just wait
Yeah.
until I'll probably just wait till 2025 to pair him. But he's another one that I'm so anxious to pair.
Yeah, and
Next season will be
it's
so
tough
exciting.
too when they get to that size and you're like, okay, I'm excited to pair, and then but you like want to find the perfect one to
Yeah.
put with that pairing and you might not have. So now you're like in a situation where you're shopping for like 6 months to try to find something that's like just right.
Yeah.
April's
just
like,
glad-
I feel ya.
I'm just
I've
glad
been
I have
looking
time.
for a I've been looking for a red drippy male for like since I want to say since August,
Oh,
and I
wow.
haven't found him.
That
I've
is
just come to
true.
the
You don't-
conclusion that I'm not finding one.
Yeah, it's hard to. I actually have 2 drippy red females coming up in the slides, but you're right. I don't think I've seen males really
Yeah,
like
I
that.
can't find one.
Didn't you find one though with the import that we're doing?
No,
I
that's a
froze. I don't
female.
think you caught what I
So
said.
the,
Oh,
yeah,
it's a
I did.
female.
So
Okay.
the 2 that I'm bringing in are both female.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a male drippy on there. Was it a lily?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go back and look
I think it
after.
was a lily, and I think it was way out of my price range.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's tough to find the right ones. Ooh, I love what's this one?
Beautiful.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this is another exquisite geckos one. I didn't realize how many of hers I had, and I put them all back to back. So this is Ariel, and she was out of Aphrodite and Salem. You guys
Okay.
probably know Salem.
No,
He has so many amazing babies out there, and I got
Yeah.
her. I got her last November of last year, or
Okay.
she like over a year, like a year and a half ago almost now, I think. It's been quite a while. And when I first got her, she actually didn't have no drips. She was super tiny. I think she was only like 4 grams. And she's really grown into one of my another one of my favorite geckos. She has that pure, like her white is so white, and the drips. And there's even, I don't know if you guys can see, there's like little snowflakes on her legs.
I was gonna say that
Yeah.
there's the little snowflaking on her legs. I love it.
And that's all come in just like once she hit like about 15 grams, all that white just spread like crazy.
Love it.
That's nice. That's wild. It's wild to see like how much of a difference they are when they hit over that like 10-12 gram range and how they can like just completely explode with new colors and new things that weren't there before.
That's what I found with most of my geckos. I never seen their full potential until they did hit that size. It's always mind blowing every time.
Yeah, no, I'm like in the position now where I want to kind of hold stuff back a bit longer and not let things go so little. Like there's been some geckos actually that April has of mine that I've seen updated pictures. I'm like, oh wow, that thing grew up so nice looking. Like look at it now compared to when you took it home, you know? Like it was still nice,
I
but
know,
like
right?
some of it just like exploded and you're just like, wow, okay, that's really cool. Yeah.
And for her, I have one of my new males that's coming. At first I didn't come up with the idea to put them together, but I was sitting there looking at the pictures of my geckos coming and the pictures I have now, and I'm like, They would be perfect. I have this really nice dark based, really drippy male coming, and I think they'll be amazing together.
That's awesome.
That'll probably be another 2025 pairing because
Does
she's still a bit small, and I think he's a bit smaller too, but next year.
does she fire up like super dark red, or does she fire up more that like coral red color?
That picture there's about true to how fired up she gets.
Okay.
Just it's not super dark, which is nice.
No, well, she's very pretty. I love the corals. The coral colors and the lighter pinks are nice.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
And who's
Ooh, I
this
like that
one?
one.
This one's name is Maple, and she was produced by House of Geckos.
Okay.
And she was out of Ginger Minju? Minj. I forget. I don't know exactly how you say it, but out of Ginger and Rue. And Rue used to be with Witching Hour Reptiles.
Yes.
Okay. And if you've seen any of their other pairings, all the pairings babies were super, super nice. And they were all so different too, which surprised me. And I never expected Maple to turn out like this, but she's absolutely incredible.
She's
No,
gorgeous.
she's really pretty. You got a few from House of Geckos. Do you have anything that was related to this one, or
related
Who,
to
me?
her?
April? Yeah,
Oh,
you got a few. You got quite a few from House of Geckos recently.
Yeah,
eh?
I don't think any of the ones I have are related to this one, actually.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
She's pretty.
And
She's gorgeous.
again, the pictures don't do her justice. I have some better pictures of her when she was younger on my Instagram. But she's almost like a red tri almost, because she has like that yellowy color mixed in with the white.
Yeah,
and the white on top. And even she has kind of like the little snowflakes on the leg there, like Ariel has.
Yeah.
And she's even got the drips coming in now too, which she never had either as a little baby, which I find is absolutely incredible.
Where is she?
Yeah,
What's
she's
her
so
weight
pretty.
at now?
I believe she's like 25, 27 grams.
Okay.
She's getting pretty big.
Yeah.
She's
super pretty.
She's been one that's been crushing bugs, and she eats insane. She's not even real, like, she'll be 2 towards the end of this year, I believe. I didn't get an exact hatch date, but she's just, compared to the other ones that I got at the same time as her, she's just blown up.
Yeah, and when they eat the bugs, eh? Like they just completely I have some hatchlings from this past season that are maybe double, almost triple in size as some other ones, because they're monsters and they'll eat their full bowl of Pangea, and they'll go after every single bug and they want more. Like they're just monsters when they eat.
That always makes them grow up so quick.
I know.
And this one here,
Who's this one?
That's Apollo. He was from Tropical Imports. I did get him with my geckos from Ashley when she took over Tropical Imports collection.
Yeah.
And he's a roadie baby. And Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb and Roadie was his parents. And it's actually really cool because his mom was a red base, so I'm almost leaning towards pairing him to the previous girl, Maple, when they get the size. Maybe. I still have time to change my mind, but because his one whole half of his lineage is red based, so I'm like, I wonder what they would do together. And she does have that tri pattern on her, so.
Well, the chances are he's carrying it. I know that there's been the controversy discussion lately on whether or not red was recessive, or if it's and it's hard. It's the thing with the geckos, it's a bit tough, with the genetics, because with the snakes, at least you can send in, they have the genetic testing and you can send in the shed and have them tested. Whereas with the geckos, they don't have that. So to be able to see how the genetics interact and work is a little bit trickier. But I mean, from some of the people who are on the pro side of it being recessive, they have pairings where it's acting recessive, where they're putting them together and the two geckos don't look red, or you don't see red, and you're seeing that they're carrying it, and then they're producing hatchlings that are red, which would be producing it in a recessive manner. So be cool. He looks like he has a QR code on his tail.
I was gonna mention that. Yeah. That's like the funkiest thing about this gecko is I've examined him super hard, and I don't think he has a spot anywhere else on his body except for that tail cluster.
What's his
Love
name?
it.
It's Apollo.
Apollo. You almost gotta change it to like QR.
Oh, and it's like it's
That's neat.
developed like really young, and no spots since have developed anywhere else. And it's like there's a lot of red in the center, and then there's even some black ones on the outside. And
Okay.
it's just the coolest thing.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. I love it.
I don't even know where he got it, because I don't think either parents have spots. Not that I remember.
The random freckles, the little spots that show up.
Yeah. It's
No,
super,
he's super fun.
he's definitely the smallest on the list of the ones that I put up, but he's
Yeah.
definitely another one of my favorites. And he's got the tricolor, like he's a really nice tri. That white that's coming in along the bottom is really white in person.
It's awesome. I love them. I'm excited to
Gorgeous.
see what you're gonna do with these pairings. So what are your plans? Like do you have specific genetics that you're focusing on or that you're aiming eventually to go towards on a path like for certain projects or
As I've come to like learn different morphs and figure out really what I want to do, I like the dowels. I'll probably try and focus in on like trying to get more super dowel pairs, like pairing my nicest ones together and try and work on that. And like extremes and tricolors. Like the more the pattern, the better. The drippier, the
Right.
better.
yeah. No,
Like
those are great things to focus on for sure.
with Ariel and the new boy, I'm so they're both super super drippy. I cannot wait to show. I've never posted him on my stories yet. Hopefully he'll be here next month or shortly after. So
We'll
I'm
wait in
super excited.
anticipation to see.
I'm super super excited. Oh, and like the red. I have a lot of red gecko.
That was my next question. I was gonna ask you if you had a favorite base like color, like a favorite palette
Yeah.
to work with.
Reds
So it would be
and
the
darks.
reds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only have one yellow. I really do like yellows, but it's really hard to find a yellow that I like the actual yellow color. I find it
Bring
super,
yellows back.
I know, I do love them. I love them a lot. I have one, but I'll be on the hunt. If I see another one I like, I'll definitely pick it up. But reds and dark bases are definitely my favorite.
Yeah, the yellows are funky because like sometimes you can get a yellow, but it'll turn out to be kind of muddy looking. And then
Yeah.
you'll get like that C2 gene and like really pops, or if you have like some red in there. Or I know April just got a new one that she was pretty stoked about. Is that
Oh,
Oh, Charming?
charming?
I
Yeah.
love Charming.
well,
He's
it's exciting.
perfect. He's like the perfect yellow. He's such a bright yellow. He's not muddy at all. It look like he's yellow, and he has
Oh.
reverse red pinning. It's
Oh,
gorgeous.
that's so
But
cool.
when I take pictures of him, the red pinning goes brown. And it's not brown, it's red.
Those pictures, they never do justice at all.
Well, they're doing you dirty.
Yeah.
You're like, just
Oh,
show the red
man.
pin. Well, that's awesome. Well, thanks for showing the geckos. Now, if people want to find you, where can they find you? What are your socials and website? And
I just have my Instagram and a website right now. On Instagram,
Okay.
it's at EW capitals, I guess, and then dot exotics. And my website is linked in the description. It's just it's a Wix site. It's EW exotics. It's linked. I can't remember exactly
it's
the URL.
linked in the Instagram. Yeah, okay.
It's
I
linked
guess
in the bottom.
EW stands for your name.
Yeah, my first name's Emily, and then W my last name.
Awesome.
Okay.
No, that's cool. So, well, definitely everybody got to go check out her Instagram and her pictures and wait in anticipation to see the new stuff that's going to be coming that's on Winter Holds. And keep an eye out and see how your clutches fare this year and your hatchlings and excited for you to start sharing some pictures.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll talk again.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
We're back. It was such a good interview. Emily is the sweetest. Oh no, are you I think you're freezing, April, and you're on mute. You there? Hello? I think we lost April there for a second. Oh no. Well, while April's getting everything ready, I just wanted to say a big thank you to Emily for joining us. It was awesome. She's so sweet. Love her. And it was such a fun time talking with her. We got some. Oh, I think she's back. You there? Well, I could hear you.
I am. My internet started being so dumb. And my camera started falling.
Oh, I think it's back now. No, it's choppy.
Am I here?
You're partially there.
Oh my.
Oh, you're back. Yay.
That's me. That's me every day of the week. Okay, I'm partially here. Not all the time. Just half the time. Not there.
Just half there, right?
Oh my gosh. Am I back?
You're back. You're back. Yay. With another cup of coffee.
Oh yeah, and my kids have arrived. So this is
nice and early.
Oh, yeah.
So next week we have a fun episode coming up. So it's a little bit different. It's going to be we won't have the espresso session and the tea because we're doing a full episode with Fatty from Daffy's Reptiles, who also does Daffy's Roundtable. And he does all the marketing and the social media and stuff for the expos. So we're going to kind of get a little preview, talk about the expos and, what to expect, and get a little expo deep dive next week. So pretty excited about that he's going to be joining us on. And the only other thing, it's super excited. And then we get to go to the expo. So we're taking a break expo week, but we will be doing a lot of live stuff. So we'll be on Instagram Live and kind of sharing our journey with all of you on how it's going to go and our little pickups that we're getting, or a lot in my case. April, you're totally buying more, so have those bins ready.
I probably will because I have 4. I don't have 4 additional tubs. I have no additional tubs. And I'm not buying additional tubs.
You're going to have to get them all sorted. You won't have time by the time we come back on Sunday night.
Oh, fuck. Okay. All right.
We'll get it prepped. It's always good to have some spare tubs handy, just in case. I know I'm going plant shopping because they have the whole plant section there. So I'm pretty excited about that too.
Do they have live moss there?
I'm sure they probably will.
I need to find some.
We'll go on the hunt. Live moss hunt.
Okay, because Ember bees really love moss.
There you go. You gonna make your own little fancy enclosure for the Ember bees?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so we got a pretty busy rest of the month of April, and it's exciting. So thanks for the support, everybody. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Easter weekend, or I guess the rest of the Easter weekend, Easter Sunday. Some of us are off on Monday, not everybody, but enjoy the rest of what's left of your weekend. And thanks for stopping by.
Bye.
Shake your dreams from your hair. I'm already there, right beside you.